Hey guys, this is Supriya and I'm back again with another video on Selenium WebDriver series, and this video is part 2 of scrolling of web pages in Selenium WebDriver. So in this video I'll be telling you about how to scroll a web element inside a web element, and secondly I'll tell you how to scroll a web page in a dynamic page loading. Okay, so in the last session we have seen some simple scrolling methods in JavaScript. Okay, and we made the use of JavaScript executor and the method that is execute script inside that interface to scroll the pages. Here in this video we will learn more on that. So let's start. Okay, so I have this website. This is an e-commerce website, shopping website, and I am on this PLP page, which is the product listing page. Okay, so this page is displaying you 37,190 items or products. Okay, and when you are scrolling this is doing a dynamic page load. Okay, so first I'll tell you how to scroll a web element inside a web element. Okay, so for that I'm on this PLP page, and say for example I have this brand section, and here I have this 250 more link. Okay, so if you click on this opens you another web element. Okay, and let me just scroll down. Okay, so if you see this, when you clicked on that link, okay, it opened you the web element. Okay, now if you can see the horizontal scroll here, so this is the web element. Okay, and you have to perform a scroll here inside this web element. So for that we cannot use the normal ways that we have seen in previous sessions. We have a different class to perform this horizontal scroll or vertical scroll inside any web element. Okay, so we will talk more on that. So I just gave you this example, so I'll just close this. So we will use the same page and the same website to make you understand. So first I would need to click on this link, and for that I would need to locate this web element or link. So I'll just do a right click here, inspect, and okay, where is it? Okay, so I'll just spy this once again. Okay, so you can see that this gets highlighted, this section in HTML DOM, and this is inside the div tag. The class name is brand more. So let's try to create the XPath using this class value. Okay, so I'm just copying this, and my div tag is the class value is inside the div tag. So class is my attribute, so I can directly use the class name as the locator, but I would choose to create the customized XPath for this. So you all know how to create the customized XPath. I'll say /div square brackets. Inside the square brackets I have the class attribute value, so I'll say @class equals, inside the single quotes I'll write the value. Okay, so this is the unique XPath for this 250 more link web element. So I'll just use this customized XPath to locate this web element, that is plus 250 more link. Okay, so I have already copied and pasted the launching of browser code, that is system.setProperty WebDriver is equal to Chrome driver, then the page load timeout, implicitly wait, delete all cookies, and maximizing the window. I'm opening my website using the driver.getURL method. All this we have learned in the previous video, so I won't repeat it and I'll continue further. So what we are doing here is we are understanding how to scroll a web element inside a web element. Okay, so for that I have created a customized XPath for this web element, that is a link which is plus 250 more. Okay, so I'll just say driver dot find element. Since this is the XPath, so I'll say by.xpath, and I'll just paste my customized XPath here. Okay, and I have to click on that link. Okay, so I'll say click. Sorry guys, it should be dot click. Okay, and then after that, okay, let me just close this. So after you click on this link, it will open you the web element. This web element has so many filters, checkboxes, to further filter out your products on PLP page. So our aim is to say, for example, if you want to go to scroll it to left, and if you want to select any category from, say, from here, say from M section. Okay, so for that you have to scroll a bit. Okay, from here to here you have to scroll a bit. Okay, so how to facilitate this operation? For that we have to locate this web element first that got open. Okay, and there is a class in Selenium, that is event firing WebDriver class, which is used to perform this task of scrolling a web element. Okay, so I'll just create the object of this class. Which class? Event firing WebDriver class. So event, I'll just write event firing WebDriver. Okay, so I'll create the object. I'll say event. This is the object reference variable of event firing WebDriver class, and I'll say new event firing WebDriver, and this is how you create the object, semicolon, and inside this constructor you will pass driver instance. Okay, and let me just import this event firing WebDriver from org.openqa.selenium package. Okay, you need to import this, and then using the event firing WebDriver instance variable or reference variable, which is event, I'll access again the execute script. This is the execute method, okay, in JavaScript. Okay, so in the previous sessions we have seen how we used execute script method to scroll the pages in different ways. So same method we will be using here as well, but this time we will be using CSS Selector. to locate this web element. Okay, and creating the CSS selector, the customized CSS selector, we will learn in the coming sessions. I'll just give you a small hint how to create a CSS selector. Okay, however, just to continue with this code, I'll write double quotes here and I'll say document dot, there is a method query selector in JavaScript. Okay, and inside this method you will pass the CSS selector. So CSS selector, as we all know, that this is one of the locator in Selenium. So let me first tell you how to create the CSS selector. Okay, so after I click on this link plus 250 more, my web element will get open. I'll just inspect this web element. Okay, if you can see that this section got highlighted. Now to create, we already have this CSS selector here. If you just go to ProPath and if you select CSS selector, you'll get this, but this is too long. Okay, this will work, but it's too long and there is a possibility that this might not work. So we will have to create the customized CSS selector, and it is just like creating the customized XPath. However, there is slight change and I'll just let you know how to do that. Also, in upcoming sessions, we will learn on creating the CSS selector, okay, more in depth. But for now, I'll just tell you the simple way to create the simplest CSS selector. Okay, so we need to create the CSS selector for this web element, for this particular web element. Okay, so I'll just do Control F. Now in XPath we used to do double slash, write double slash, but here we will not be writing double slash. We will directly write the tag. Now, this is my UL tag and this is my class attribute value for this element. Okay, so unlike XPath, we used to write @class in XPath, but here you will not use @. You will directly write class equals to, and inside the single quotes you will paste the value for that. Okay, let me just again spy this. Okay, so this is my value filter directory and I just write it over here. So this is my CSS selector. Okay, so I just copy this and inside this query selector method I paste my CSS selector, but that should be within the single quotes. Okay, now you need to remember one thing here, that you cannot use two pair of single quotes inside the same value. Okay, so one of the pair you have to convert it into double quotes. One of the pair of single quotes you have to convert it into double quotes. So if we try to write double quotes inside this single quotes here, that should work. Okay, so let me just first check if it is working or not. Okay, so I'll just paste it here, and if I do and enter, so see, one element matching and my web element got highlighted in green dotted lines. So it is working. So what I'll do, I'll copy from here and I'll paste it again here. Okay, you will find some special characters here. Okay, so that is important, so leave it like that, do not change it. Okay, so after that I have to write one more property, and that is okay, let me just first close this single quote. So I've started the single quote here, so I have to close it here, and after that I'll say dot scroll left equals to if I give any value, say 500, and I just say double quotes, because here I have started with double quotes, so I have to end it over here. Okay, and I'll close this and semicolon. Okay, so see, this is how you write the JavaScript, guys. So you need to be very careful when you are writing the JavaScript. It's very much different from the normal Java code or Selenium code. So I'll just explain you once again. What I did is I created the object of event firing WebDriver class event. Okay, I passed the driver instance inside this constructor, and I called a method execute script. Inside the method I passed some arguments, and this is how you have to pass the argument. You will say, you will start with double quote, it should end with the double quote. Just before the method is ending, you will say document dot query selector is the method inside the JavaScript. So query inside this method, that is query selector, you will enter or pass the CSS selector value, okay, that we have created for this particular web element. The web element wherein you are going to scroll horizontally or vertically, you have to create the customized CSS selector, or you can just copy it from here. Okay, and I also explained you how to create the simple CSS selector. Okay, so when I just spied this web element, I found that this is under the UL tag, and the class attribute, we have the class attribute with its value. So when you are creating the CSS selector, you don't have to put the double slash before the tag. You will just directly write the tag, and with this followed by the square brackets. You don't have to write @ for any attribute. You will directly write the attribute name. Rest remains the same as XPath. Okay, you will just write is equal to and the class value, okay, the attribute value. So that CSS selector, we will paste it inside this query selector method, and this is how you have to write. You will start with the single quotes and end with the single quotes, okay, inside the method, and you will just paste this CSS selector. But you need to remember one thing, and that is a value of a CSS selector, you know, cannot have two pairs of single quotes. So one should, if one is a single quote pair, okay, if you can see here, this is my single quotes, this is my single quotes, okay. So another pair cannot be single quotes. So if either you make this as double quotes, okay, or you can make these single quotes as double quotes. And then I just observed that when I copied it from here, okay, when I pasted it here, it had some special characters, so that is fine, okay, otherwise it will show you the error, okay. So if you can see these special characters, it's fine, you need to have that, okay. And then after this method, I used a property of JavaScript, that is scroll left equals to, I just entered a value 500. So what this 500 will do, this web element will be located using the CSS selector, okay. Okay, this method will locate this element and then it will scroll left to 500 pixels. So it will scroll something like this, scroll left like this, okay. Now this is the horizontal scroll. Had this been a vertical scroll, you should have written scroll top property instead of scroll left, okay. So it's this in vertical scroll also, if you want to scroll any web element vertically, okay, you can do that using this event firing WebDriver, and everything remains the same except this property scroll left. So if you are doing a vertical scroll, this scroll left will be scroll top, okay, but since this is a vertical scroll, you will say scroll left and you will write the value to any value. If you want to just go ahead till here, so you can say 600, 700 or 1000, but I'm just putting 500. Or even if you want to do a slight horizontal scroll, say 10 pixels or 20 pixels, you can do that and you can just write that value here, okay. So let's execute this program and see how if it is scrolling automatically or not. But before that, I want to put some thread.sleep method so that you can see it very clearly. And let me just check where I can put that. So okay, so this will open my website and it will do a click on the link. It will open the web element, then it will scroll. Okay, what I'll do, I'll put the thread.sleep here after this link. Okay, so I'll say thread.sleep of 2 seconds. So for 2 seconds it will wait and then it will do the horizontal scroll inside the web element. So first what will happen, my website will be open, this website. This element plus 250 more will be located and it will be clicked. And this web element of so many checkboxes and filters will be open. And then it will do a wait for 2 seconds and then this will be horizontally scroll to 500 pixel to the left. Okay, so this is the scrolling of web element inside the web element. Okay, so let's execute this. Okay, so it opened my browser. Okay, so see, it got opened, but you are not able to, it scrolled also horizontally, but you were not able to see that. Okay, so what I'll do, Let me just stop this script first. I'll just close this. Okay, so I'll just insert the vertical scroll over there so that after this link is getting clicked, okay, I'll just show you. After this link is getting clicked, it will first do a vertical scroll and then it will locate this web element, okay, and then inside this web element it will do the horizontal scroll. So after this script, which is clicking the brand more link, I'm doing a 2-second wait, and after that I'll put a vertical scroll. And in the previous videos we have learned how to do a vertical scroll of a web page. So for that you have to create the instance of JavaScript Executor interface. Okay guys, if you didn't see that video, please watch it again, and then only you will be able to understand this. So here I'm creating the instance of JavaScript Executor interface equals, I'll do a typecasting. Here I'm converting this driver instance into JavaScript Executor instance JS. Okay, all this we have learned in the previous video, and using this JavaScript Executor instance variable, I'll be accessing execute script, okay, and I'll use a method window dot scroll to, or you can also use window dot scroll by also guys, okay. So scroll to or scroll by, you can use any one of these methods. So I just close this method here, and inside that I have to put two values. First one is for horizontal scroll, so we are not doing here horizontal scroll, so I'll put 0 here, comma, and then the second coordinate is for vertical scroll. So let's put 500 here, okay, and I'll say semicolon, double quotes, and I'll remove everything. I'll just close this and semicolon. Okay, so what this will do, first it will open my website, it will click on the that plus to more link. Okay, I'll show you again. Okay, where is that link? Okay, this plus 250 more link. This will open my web element. Then later on it will scroll to 500 pixel vertically, okay, so that you can see, and then it will do the horizontal scroll. Okay, so let us execute this script and check if it is working or not. So what I'll do, I'll just put one more wait after this, so that after the vertical scroll it will wait for 2 seconds, and then it will locate the web element using the Css selector, and then it will perform the horizontal scroll inside the web element. So let's run this and check. Okay, so it launched my browser, opened my website, it clicked on that link, vertical scroll, and then horizontal scroll. Okay, so see this, it got scrolled till here. Okay, so this is about using the event firing WebDriver class in order to perform a horizontal or vertical scroll inside the web element. In the next video, I'll tell you how to do a vertical scroll and come up to a web element while the page is loading. Okay, and I'll also let you know on slow scrolling of such dynamic page loading. Okay, so what do you mean by slow scrolling? That means you are just scrolling it slowly like this. Okay, so for that you have to create a loop, and that we will understand in the next video. So for now, I'll end this session and see you in the next video. That will be of part 3 on scrolling of web pages. Okay, till then, you have a great day, have a great weekend, stay safe, stay healthy. Goodbye.